Ingat lang kayo. Hello? O subscribe kayo rito.
Yes, Manila, sir.
Okay, please.
Let me take this opportunity to each and every one of you, the doctors and the nurses, especially nowadays, on behalf of the people of Manila, thank you very much. Thank you for your patience, hard work, dedications, and bravery, especially in the first quarter of 2020, where everybody is, madalit salita sa kalsada, iligaw, because what we are facing since then was experienced by our world 100 years ago. So there's no playbook in addressing this kind of situation. But with the help of our medical frontliners, addressing and patiently, with all dedication, na mailigtas ang bawat buhay na nakahirate sa loob ng ospital. I've seen so many dedication and doctors died and nurses. And despite of all those things, you continue to move on to do your, anong tawag doon, ate? Yung tinanong ko sa iyo isang araw, sinusumpaan ng mga doktor?
Hippocratic oath.
Hippocratic oath. No? Na talagang ang pagmamahal sa pasyente. Sa awa ng Diyos, isang taon nakalipas, 3 buwan. No? Ang Maynila, bagamat the most dense city per square kilometer in our country, so far, wag naman, so far, hindi na-achieve yung worst case scenario base sa aming mga maliliit na kaalaman at pagkonsulta sa mga matatayog na bansa na aking ipinagpapasalamat to the British government. When I was sent by the British ambassador February of last year to speak with COBRA, or the Corona British Response Agency. And I'm grateful to the British government to have that copy of the plan. And through that, duplicating it at ibinagay natin sa ating kultura, panahon, at kostumbre. Because hindi natin kayang gayahin ng buo. Isa ngayon po'y yung inaasahan naming hundreds of thousands of will be infected. Sa awa naman ng Diyos, nakaka-60,000 lang ho tayo sa buong isang taon na 3 buwan. And today, we only have about 1,400 active cases. And rest assured, doctors and nurses, and the future doctors and nurses produced by UST, and all other university for that matter, in our own little way as a city government, we will not rest. Honey and I, we will keep on moving on, trying things, and if I may borrow that saying, I would rather try and fail by failing by not trying at all. Sort of say, mga kasama. Kaya pumanatag kayo kung kayo'y taga Maynila. May gobyerno sa lungsod ng Maynila. In fact, as we speak, Father, through the help of Secretary Berna and NPDC, the city of Manila is on track in building within 60 days the Manila COVID-19 field hospital. Not a quarantine facility, but a hospital setting. Timely when Secretary Berna and I and the NPDC started moving earth in Burnham Green in Luneta, nagkaroon ng surge sa mga kapwa natin tao sa India. I don't want you to have that kind of situation wherein you're just one step away from an emergency room door, but you cannot be accommodated because even the hallways are full of patients and people are lying up in the streets. Bangketa ang literal, gasping for air. As you have promised to your patient that you will address them with much care and compassion, the same thing that we must do. This is on top of our 870 bed capacity with our quarantine facility and 571 COVID bed capacity in our 6th hospital. We will have 344 na. Dati 336. 344 COVID-19 bed capacity for mild and moderate patients, so that we can continue to unclog the hospital with mix of patients in the case of severe, critical, mild, and moderate, because asymptomatic patients are in our quarantine. So if we unclog two who doesn't need much specialty, which is very rare nowadays in the lives of pulmonologists or an infectious doctor, plus machineries and so on and so forth, then if we achieve that, we can create more space for critical and severe. And I think your doctors and nurses here, and of course the school itself, has the data that COVID-19 is not the #1 killer or death rate in terms of ratio nowadays. Despite the pandemic, it is not COVID. Yung malulungkot nating mga kababayang may sakit na iba pa rin ang maraking namamatay. Ibig sabihin, napapabayaan na natin ang may mga sakit sa puso, high blood, cancer, diabetico, and so on and so forth. Because they are still on top of the list in terms of death ratio. Kaya nakakaawa. Why? Well, I would assume they will not go and visit hospital for checkups because of the connotation of being infected inside the hospital. So as doctors and nurses and medical professionals today, and of course the institution is providing medical professionals, I'm happy to share it to you that with regard to the public health care of the city of Manila, the city government of Manila, pipilitin namin maging epesyente at epektibo at umasa kayong patuloy kami ni Vice Mayor Hani Lacuna na pupuhunanan ng mga ekwipo o gamit makabago upang lalong gumaling, na magaling ng doktor at magamit niya yung kanyang propesyon ayon sa kanyang pag-aaral dahil siya ay may mga tamang ekwipo para sa partikular na sakit ng isang batang Maynila at mano pa kahit hindi taga Maynila, because saving lives has no territorial jurisdiction, has no boundaries. We will continue to be part of the solution. That we guarantee you, doctors and nurses, at the very least that we can do. That's why I would like to, take this opportunity to thank Secretary Berna. Alam niyo, nung tinawagan ko siya, the following day, nag-board meeting agad. Dapat 20 days pa from that day. But with that, we will offer it to you. Handog ng Maynila sa bansa. When we say that, because that COVID-19 field hospital will never be for the sole utilization of the people of Manila. As I have promised Secretary Berna, that it can be made available to any John Does and Mary who needed it, especially in our neighboring city and provinces. Tutulong kami. Then, kung kailangan nyo ng tocilizumab ba, tiway sa Maynila. Meron kami tocilizumab. Huwag nyo sanang kailanganin. Pero pag kailanganin ng pasyente nyo, pindutin nyo lang ang telepono kay Dean. Matatawagan niya kagad si Honey, saka si Fox. We'll be happy to be of service. The way you wanted it, and how are you going to arrest or save lives? And that is our intention. So this is our share to your 150 years in celebration ng inyong pagkakatatag. Umasa kayo, kami ni Vice Mayor Hanil Lacuna, pipilitin namin maging mainam, masinop, at epesyente kayong paglingkuran, taga Maynila man, o mga taong dumadako sa Maynila everyday in and out of the city. Welcome po kayo sa Maynila. Congratulations, UST College of Medicine. Magandang araw. Pagpalain nawa kayo ng pong may kapal. Manila, God first. Thank you.